Alright, this is the third game that you sent me, Gain. So, oops, wrong person actually. There we go. My frame rate's a little choppy. You're going to look at and scout the correct way. This is good. So, let's take a look at this map before anything too interesting happens. I'll keep that production tab up just in case. So, this is Lost Temple. If you don't know this map, then you should definitely learn this map. This map is probably the most popular map out there, and you're going to be seeing this for a long time. So yeah, you are going to get a scout out in the right direction. That's good. I mean, this already kind of tells me that you know this map decently well. You're setting this overload in a straight course, whereas on the first game on Desert Oasis it took a kind of curved course, and your second queue on the last map, Delta Quadrant, was also not perfect. It had that second queue up to the wrong position, but that's not too bad. Oh, and there we go. Trying to send out a drone scout. Are you sending out a drone scout? Looks like it. You gotta look at his base, right? Yeah, you know what his base is like. So you should actually just be using this overload at that point. You don't want to risk this extra drone. It's very unnecessary unless you're going for a in-base proxy hatch, which you can't pull off. It's going to be a long time until you can think about pulling that off. Yeah, you should be just getting up this pool like normal. Okay, getting this gas up. I still think that you should wait a little bit until getting this first gas. It can wait yeah, just a little bit. Alright, gonna see this gateway, gonna see this forge. So this means, you need to know what this means. So, this gateway is normal timing, but this forge means that he's still not gonna be pushing out with too much too early on. And wow, there's a little worker light. Yeah, you can kind of queue up some zealots. So, your pool should be pretty close to done, and you are going to drone up a little bit. Again, I think it's a good idea to get out those sixlings as soon as the pool pops. So, going for this really economically heavy build. Oh, I think you have 4 guys on this gas. Maybe not. It looks a little weird there. Yeah, and then bring this drone back home. This is fine. You've done a pretty good job. But again, this drone, not really necessary. Okay, this is good. Okay, if you're going to bring out that drone anyway, yeah, just leave it by that Zelnaga tower. Why not? It'll show you when his army's moving out. And again, you could be using this overlord to just check out his base, see if there's anything strange coming up. I mean, if you saw this cannon with their overlord, yeah, that means, okay, I could feel free to expand pretty soon, which you could actually do right now. So, let's see, there's still a few units, 3 zealots. Your rally points aren't the best. You want to be rallied to the top of your ramp right now for your combat units. Well, you could even check the lair right now. What are you doing? You've got, okay, you're gonna get Ling speed, sure. You have a lot of money in the bank though, and it's pretty early on, so what exactly are, okay, gonna go roaches then. But I really would like to see an expansion with all this money in the bank, with such a great position that you're at. He doesn't even have a core up yet, so your overlords are pretty much invulnerable unless you do something stupid like fly it over this photon cannon for 20 minutes. You don't need to move this drone back in. You have this overlord. The overlord should be doing the majority of the scouting right now. Alright, that roach going up, and you're going to get that lair up. And again, it's going to be difficult to really keep up a lot of production of your lair tech units unless you have this natural up. You really need that extra gas. Open overlords, yep, in production. Okay. And taking this gas, second gas, a little bit late. If you're going for a Roach Ling army, though, I guess that's okay. You need to keep on track of that energy. There we go. It's a little bit late, but at least you still got it down pretty early. Need to put some more guys on that gas. Need to get another overlord up. Make sure you're not blocked. And this is a turtle Protoss. Very interesting. He has so many zealots up front. I guess this build kind of beats Rush's ish. No, not really, but whatever. Oh, tunneling claws. I do not recommend this. He has this cannon, which you should know about. You knew about the forge. Let's check out your vision. Alright, you don't know. Well, you might not know about this cannon. But this Overlord sitting idle there, you should be a little bit more proactive using these units to scout. So in the last game you actually did a decent damage, but you were up against Terran, so it's very understandable that you just not go for those mid-game scouts. But here, you have an excellent mid-game scout just waiting to be used. And it's one Overlord. You have a pretty decent economy at this point. Yeah, your second base just about to go up. There we go. Oh, by the way, well, yeah, I guess if you're gonna get that tunneling clause, you should be going for this burrow, but yeah, you want to be queuing up that second queen. There we go. This is actually... Oh, he cancelled it. I was about to say, wow, that's really unexpected, because that's a pretty solid move. I mean, most silver players, most gold players even, forget about getting that second queen. Oh, did you just move it here? Okay, that's good. That's fine. So going for the same kind of Roach Hydra build right now. Again, if you had been a little bit more proactive with this Overlord, you would have seen that there's very little air defense, that your mutas, that probably 7 mutas here would win you the game. Now this Overlord is going to die, but that's okay. It could have gotten a little bit more, well, actually significantly more information. Could have seen the timing on this core, could have seen that he was going for this robo facility, could have seen this robotics bay going up, and could have seen that there are cannons over here, but not in the mineral line. Anyway, just macroing up for now. Again, these gases very, even though it looks like you have a lot in the bank, it's gonna get outpaced by your minerals pretty quickly. Let's look at that income. Oh wow, you're not droning up at all. You only have 19 drones. Okay, so I'll just talk about that for a little bit. You want to have 30 drones in general on each base. Well, yeah, unless there's going to be any future weird maps with only one gas or something. But in general, you want to have 3 drones on each gas, which you do have, that's good. And you want to have 20 to 24 drones on your minerals. So 24 is completely fully saturated. You can get away with 20 most of the time if you have an expansion that also has quite a few drones, 16 to 20 drones on that expansion as well, because you're still getting quite a bit of income from that. And you're not using the... yeah, this is one of your problems that's been a little consistent. You have all these units in your base, and they're just sitting there at your base. So this is a kind of a waste of money, just having these units and them just sitting there right like that. Your creeping isn't complete there. It's close enough. It's not too bad. Just remember that these creep tumors can build other creep tumors. So going back to these units, you have a lot of units here that are just sitting there that aren't doing anything. Why not take out these rocks? Why not posture outside of his base so he can't expand, so you know if he's going to expand, then he's going to have to commit a lot of money in doing so. I mean, more than the 400 minerals, he's going to commit part of his army as well. You're doing an adequate job with your energy. It's you have a lot of spare energy on this queen, which you could be using for better creep tumors. Your supply is not the best. I mean, you're a little bit blocked here. Alright, and you do a lot of churning up, so it looks like you are retroactively going or playing through time and space and listening to me. That's good. Always advisable. You're not completely sure what's going on in his base at this point, so that's a little bit problematic. You do have this nice solid mix, though, this Roach Hydra mix, extremely powerful army for the Zerg. Probably, yeah, it's going to be the strongest army composition you can have until Ultras pop out. But again, these units aren't really doing much. They're better over here. At least they're more defensive over here. So this will prevent any units from coming into your natural, whereas before it'd take a little bit. I mean, it'd take like 2 seconds, but still, that's 2 seconds of drones lost of moving from the top of your ramp down here. if your opponent tried to go for that natural. Going for a Nidus network, okay. Alright, you're going to see this push. You should be ready for this push. You have plenty of time, you have a decent amount of units, you should not be engaging on this ground. You want to be taking out this Colossus first. That's the first thing you want to do. Oh, that's unfortunate. This Observer going to really weapon you guys. Unburrow these Hydras when you notice the ones that are burrowed are getting hurt. Yeah, just move in at this point. And you're going to want to focus down that Colossus. Are you doing that? No. We're working down on that Immortal. Uh-oh. This is going to be a little problematic for you. What do we have? 7 more Hydras on the way and a single Roach. This is not too much on his side. Should be coming up. There we go. And again, this Colossus is the big damage dealer. You want to be focusing this down as soon as you possibly can. There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay, at this point you've lost your natural. You're not going to be able to save this, not with just these units on the way. So, you should be bringing back these drones. Making sure that all of them survive, or at least most of them survive. Oh, those breathing is actually going to do some decent damage over here. Going to be able to take down the soccer almost. Yeah. And again, you're taking a lot of damage from this Colossus. You're taking a lot of unnecessary damage from this Colossus, so this damage could have easily been prevented if you just focused down this Colossus as soon as possible. If you didn't try to do that fancy burrowing, if you had just engaged there, you would have been fine. Yeah, you're going to take a lot more losses than you really needed to. You should be getting up this expansion as soon as possible. You have plenty of money in the bank. You should be replenishing that army, keeping up on these larva injections. There we go. And good. You're doing all the right things right now. But again, I think you're trying to use Burrow way too hard. Burrow just isn't very practical in this game. It wasn't very practical in Brood War either, but whatever. It's just a relatively unimportant upgrade that has very few practical uses, and it gets countered pretty easily if your opponent scouts well, which your opponent is doing with this Observer. Oh, that's good. I was just about to suggest that you lay out Creep Tumors because you have a whole bunch of extra energy.